First off, just a quick recap. I posted this in the trade ideas, but even if I didn't, it really shouldn't have mattered because this is what we were all waiting for. This is what we were fully prepared for. Was yesterday, 29,300, right, guys? Remember right here at 9:30 when we called it? Well, it was coming back down. People were asking there was like 4 people that were like, is this a good spot to get into shorts now? Because they're just viewing it as it's pulled back close to the opening print. It looks like it wants to dump. What do you think, James? And I just said, I don't want to go short at all. I don't like shorts. When it was down here, just following that trend line, it just looks like it's following, creating higher lows and trying to push here. It's trying to form that trend to the upside, and we can determine that how? By figuring out the squeeze, looking for a break of the squeeze, breaks to the upside. Okay. Since it's broken to the upside, I'll now take shorts off the table. I start looking for longs, and I follow my game plan. My game plan the whole time yesterday, breakout of 29,300, which we never got. So it pushed up here. You have your breakout for an entry or your break and retest. These are all valid break and retests. As you can see, you would not get stopped out. 29,280 would be the stop loss, which it never came to. Contracts held up okay. But this is one of those good examples of a zero drawdown trade going straight to 50 points profit. Or if you hold for the bigger move, why you would want to hold, right, per se, is simply because it's later in the day. Because it's later in the day, you're going to have lower volume. Case in point here, right? It's not this volume, it's that volume. So I have to give my trade a little bit more grace, a little bit more wiggle room. I can't necessarily move the stop loss to entry so quickly. So you see on the trade ideas updates, that's why I never posted, if you're going to scale it, I'm not posting, you should have your stop loss at entry. I think you just leave your stop loss where it's at. See if this thing can push. And what do we see? We see it starts to respect that trend line. Bounce off the trend line, bounce off the trend line. Not like that's that big of a deal, but it is something cool to take note of. And we can see it respects the levels relatively well. Comes right up to 384, comes back down for another retest of 300, then pushes to the upside for that big, large move here on the contracts with that full exit at 29,550. Just anticipating it's more than likely going to reject here. 29,550. Let's get out of the trade. It did keep pushing for another 15 points before it did actually reject. So pretty cool to see that play out from yesterday's trade. All right. Now going into today, I want to watch for a breakout for calls or for longs at 29,493 or 714.94. I want to watch for a breakout for puts at 29,434 down here or 713.5. Tesla, breakout for calls at 449 or a bounce area around 444.3 right here, possible bounce area. I would only look for a breakout for puts at 442.27 right there. Meta, breakout for calls at the 619 area, breakout for puts at 614.45. And then Apple, breakout for calls at 300 or break and retest of 297.43 for puts because that's a possible bounce area. All right, I'm willing to risk Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday's profits on Thursday's trade. That makes 0 sense. You guys do it every single week too. I'll talk to one-on-one students. They happen to do it every single week, even though I'm a broken record and I say this every single time. Somehow I'll talk to someone and they go, yeah, I blew all my profits on Friday. And I'm like, what? How? I literally said in the pre-market session not to do that. And what they say in their head, they tell me, they go, I don't know. I just did. But what I hear is, yeah, I don't give a damn what you said. I know I'm not supposed to do that either, but I did it anyway because I let my emotions control me. That's what that tells me. If you're going to let your emotions control you, you're not going to make it. I'm telling you right now. And those of you that are successful entrepreneurs, you guys know that as well. Business has no place for your emotions. If you're going to get emotional, the market will chew you up and spit you out. You can have the best strategy in the world. All right. I'm not saying my strategy is the best strategy in the world. I'm just saying you could have the best strategy in the world. But what is trading? Like, who executes trading? Does the strategy execute trading? No, a human does. A human executes the strategy. So if the human is flawed, the strategy is pointless, right? That's what we need to be thinking about. So make sure you're approaching the market with a systematical approach, logical approach. Picture there is a math teacher standing right next to you, and you're turning to the math teacher and going, yeah, hey, I made $2,000 this week. I'm going to take this one option trade right here because it just looks sick. And I'm going to risk 2,500. Your math teacher is going to be like, that doesn't seem smart. You're risking 3 days worth of profits in a few minutes here for what? Oh, I'm just going for that little scalp, like 10%. Like I'm just going to make like $400 in this. And then your math teacher's going to go, yeah, that still doesn't make sense, buddy. You're probably best skipping on this. So it's just one of those things, okay? Jimmy, NVIDIA, I think it could see higher highs. Your contracts are, if I was you, I would give it a shot holding them since you're already in the position. Just managing that stop loss. I don't think I would hold it throughout tonight, but throughout today, just have a stop loss and profit that makes sense to you. All right. Got calls loaded here. Watch Apple too, guys. It's right there. Apple's going to be really quick. Remember, Apple, if you see like 30% profit, start scaling out, guys. All right. Start scaling out. QQQ might be really fast as well. Remember, 29,493. I want to enter. SPY is really strong here. NVIDIA is strong. And then calls. It's hitting a wall right when I entered. It's hitting a wall. SPY is still strong, though. Coming down here. Contracts are holding up well. I'm at 10%, negative 10% here. Totally understand with your futures, you're going to do what you got to do. Again, it's the 716 calls here. All right, contracts are doing well. Wow. All right, now I'm going to wait for, okay, that's right around, what is that, 45 points? 45 points right there. I want to let this continue to push here. I'm going to go for 85 points next. It's like a little pre-market level right there at 572 that we'll go for. Great trade so far. 45 points profit. Oh, darn it. $75% out of the position here, guys. 75% out of the position on this push. So, yeah, 50 points. Perfect. All right. All right. Man, these contracts are doing so well here. Sad to say, we have strong divergence here, guys. Look at Apple. Apple with a complete reversal at 300. All right, remember, 3/4 out of the position here, everybody. 3/4 out of the position. You should be pretty much majority out at this point. We are sitting at 60 points or 58 points profit currently. There is a possible chance we reject at 29,549. So just something to keep in mind, okay? Yeah, it was a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Love that. If we break above 550 with good volume, we are going to be able to see 100 points out of this. Slap this up here for you. First time coming on the live. Been going over the education for the last week. Do you always call out your entries like this? Yes. Yes. I always call out my entries. I call out my entries. I call out my stop loss, everything. All right. Make sure you've scaled out a good portion here, guys. I'm 3/4 out of this position. So make sure you've scaled out a good portion here. We're sitting at 65 points profit right now. 65 points profit. Meta kind of wanted to break here too. NVIDIA. As long as NVIDIA continues to strength, I'm very bullish on the NASDAQ. No, guys, I did not get wicked out. I literally said it verbatim. I said, I understand on NQ that might have pushed you out, but the options contracts, the furthest they went was negative 10%. Options contracts held up very well. I say that in real time so you can make that deduction as well. I've told you guys in the past, whenever options contracts hold up really well, sometimes that signifies that that move wants to rip and vice versa. Just like yesterday when I did not take the short trade and I said, even though NQ is moving into profit, all right, scaling out again here on QQQ, everybody. Third trim, 80 points profit. 85 points profit. Third trim. And like I said before, right? You guys want to take my call outs? You want to follow me? Well, you know when I'm going to tell you when I stop out. Never said I stopped out. That was obvious. Very, very clear, very obvious. But what we do love is how we held this level. That was a gorgeous hold of this level, 29,467. So let's say worst case scenario, you did get stopped out on the pullback. Pullback stopped you out. You're trading futures. That's fine. You get stopped out. It simply reconfirms it for you at this breakout level, right? Because it comes down, holds the level, and then on that push back up, it absolutely flies to the level, right? Undeniable that this is a beautiful trade. So if you simply got wicked out, again, that's okay. That's where you just need to be a little bit of a critical thinker and ask yourself, okay, why are we taking this trade? What do I like about this trade? Do I like how it's holding in the pre-market? Kind of like James mentioned earlier. He said, beautiful hold of 466. We can see it's holding and moving to the upside. All right. Okay, there's 100 points. Or it's right there almost. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. $340 a contract here from $215 a contract. I mean, it's right there at 100 points. If you got your one runner, this is it. Sell the one runner if you're trading on a prop firm. But yeah, guys, hey, there it is, 100 points. Gorgeous. Let's go. 100 points profit. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's freaking awesome. All right. I'm going to squeeze for 200 points now just because of the strength this has. I'm going to take a completely majority exit at this point, everybody. 105 points profit right here. Just because we're not the highest volume. All right, look at the volume. 836 in the volume, 597 on the volume. So this is majority exit for me. I have a negligible position left. All right, good possibility we can reverse. But if we do continue to move here, I'm only going to go for 200 to make it worth it. What's MU doing? MU's flying here. Good job, guys. Good job. Yeah. Okay. So let me re-clarify though. So for anyone that got wicked out, because like I said it as it happened, I said I understand, you know, could have got wicked out on NQ, but it's still a beautiful trade, right? Regardless, it's just one of those things where you need to be willing, if you still like the trade, to take a re-entry, right? Don't let you getting wicked out while I'm still in the trade dissuade you from the trade, right? The trade is still a good trade. Okay. It's just one of those things. Now, you know, again, anyone in here that was trading options, they know what I'm saying. They were watching their contracts too. Contracts held up very, very well. I understand that on NQ, that from right where we entered, and I said there's a wall here, right when we entered, right? I said there's a wall, and price did not move. Like I said, I'm in calls, and price just sat there. Time froze. Time froze. Then it started to pull back. On that pullback, when the contract premiums held value as well as they did, so meaning NQ reversing, 20 points. Meanwhile, options contracts are only down 10%. That to me, hey, option contracts are holding up. That is an even bigger sign that I want to hold this trade. I want to hold it. The premiums, the option premiums are telling me price wants to keep moving higher. Why would I get out of this trade? I have got to hold this trade. It is wanting to rip to the upside. I just got to give it a shot. I got to give it a chance. Entry just might be a little off. That's all, right? So that's all I need to tell myself. Hold the trade, let it play out, push to the upside. If I'm not willing to hold the trade, okay, I'll simply stop out. I'll respect my stop loss and then re-enter in at my desired level, right? So that would mean coming down, getting stopped out. Okay, hey, if it comes back to 493, I'll re-enter again. Boom, comes back to 493, take your re-entry, and that's that second push. There was no drawdown, and then boom, straight to profit. Because you took a loss, because you took a loss, you can just say, all right, I'm just going to target 40 points, 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, full exit, call it a day, end the day strong green. There goes MU, man. MU is just strong. Gosh. Gorgeous. What a beautiful day so far, man. All right, this is 125 points profit where we're at. Some beautiful trades right here. So whenever these occur, guys, I want you guys to look for the break and retests. Like I've said before, just look at my levels. We've already gotten 2. So you had the 5-minute candle close here. It started to pull back and then went through. That's a break and retest. You had the break and retest here at 29,573. Broke above, came down for the retest, started to move to the upside. Remember, though, if you're looking for a break and retest, you need to look for it, guys. I'll call them out if I see them, but I'm not entirely focused on that as we're in such an easy trade, right? I'm not really looking for a break and retest. So, because I'm already in it. I'm in it. We're all in profit. We're all watching this move to the upside. I am actively looking for a break and retest. If I get stopped out of the trade or I can't get in the trade at all and I'm looking for an entry, yes. But again, I want you guys to be critical thinkers. I want you guys to take my call outs, my trade ideas, my education, and I want them to form into your own. That way you can make your own entries and your own criteria with time. With time, obviously, there's absolutely nothing wrong with following my call outs verbatim. Some of the most successful people in this group, that's all they do. They just follow my call outs. That's it. But what I love seeing is students that take trades on their own, right? And they do tremendous. Like all of you guys that took those shorts yesterday without me, those shorts, I was so proud. Like I can't tell you how happy I was seeing guys take entries here, guys and gals, and also guys and gals take entries down here. I thought that was incredible because I did not, but some of you guys did anyway. So my only concern, again, is just that the volume is not the strongest. So it's wishful thinking going for 200 points. But I'm going for 200 points because I got nothing left, really. And I want to make it worthwhile, right? I want to make leaving these runners here worthwhile. If SPY, a break and retest, honestly, that would make sense, is SPY's pre-market high here. SPY can break and retest this pre-market high. Look at the strength on NVIDIA, man. So Apple with a complete divergence, I would hold from Apple. Would just stay away from Apple. It's the complete opposite of the entire market. Tesla's volume really is dying pretty hard too. Honestly, with looking at Tesla's chart now, I really wouldn't be interested unless it reclaimed pre-market low. Enzo, yeah, I think that's a great reason for an entry, my friend, for your re-entry. I think that's a great reason. Like, you should be writing that down in your journal, Enzo. Like that, to me, I'm very proud of you for that. If I was next to you in person, I would high five you for sure. All right, here's that next level, 29,635. So this is another area where you can scale out if you would like. I will scale out here just just 5 contracts for fun because it's got this ungodly strength here. This is absolutely beautiful. Let me try to get this fill here. 475 a contract on the fill. So that is 180 points profit on my next trim. You know, this is really nice. I was a little bit worried about today. I'm not going to lie. I want to be completely honest, guys. I was contemplating not showing up today at all. This is the anniversary of my father's death when he passed away. So I didn't want to show up today, but I did. And I'm glad we can get a good trade. I'm glad our thesis played out. I'm glad it worked out. Just grateful to be here. That's all. Grateful to be here. Yeah, it was 2020. It's during COVID. Yeah. Okay. Where the market is now, guys. Again, I know a lot of you might want to break and retest, especially if you did get stopped out on futures. Trying to be sympathetic with you guys here because that could be very frustrating, right? Especially because all the options traders stayed in the trade. Obviously, didn't hit the stop loss and it just took off. And I know you might not have taken a re-entry at the breakout because you might have just been scared. And I know you might not have looked at any of these for retests. But you have to be careful because like you can't be chasing this. There's no breakout criteria here. You're just subject to a pullback if that were the case. I'll just let those runners go as far as I can. We're just making new highs. Let's see what we can do, right? We break 29,691. I'll just target every 100 points. So 700, 800, etc. That's all I'll do. All right.